So, so back in the 90s, I was the regional vice president of sales for a company called AccuScan, and I managed the Northeast region. We had 4 sales offices that sold automation technology to manufacturing companies and to distribution companies. And my top performing rep, a guy named Paul, called me up and said he had this huge opportunity and he wanted me to go on the call with him. So we strategized a lot before the day of the call. And I should press the pause button just to explain that I was a regional vice president, but I was 27 years old. So I was the youngest one they had, and I was very much a bachelor, still adjusting to the post-college world. And I woke up the morning of the call, and it was a bad laundry day. And I had no clean dress socks. And, we're wearing suits to the call. I had no clean dress socks. And it kind of grossed me out that I'd have to wear some used smelly socks, on the call. And I didn't want to do that. And then I saw this pair of socks that my sister bought me. This is in July. And it was Christmas socks, and they had little bulbs on them, but they kind of looked like paisley. So if you weren't, plus my pants were, pretty long. So I didn't think anyone would see them anyways, and they were clean. That was the key. So I put them on, figured that was a low risk thing. I thought it was low risk. So we arrived at the call, we did an hour and a half tour of the distribution center. The president of the division was there, the vice president of distribution, the vice president of manufacturing, vice president of IT, touring around, asking lots of good questions, doing a little discovery. And we were going to all meet in the conference room afterwards, and that's where we were going to share with them what our thoughts were and how we thought we could help them. And everything's going great. And I walk into the conference room. I open up the door. I let everyone in ahead of me. And as I walk in, my left ankle hits my right calf, which wasn't normally a bad thing. I didn't fall or anything. But what it did is it activated the secret musical button inside the socks that I forgot were there. So if you've ever opened up a greeting card and heard like a Christmas tune playing, this triggered a 1-minute 4-song medley of Christmas tunes. And as soon as I heard the first beep, I panicked and I ran away. And I ran until I was in this land of cubicles, and I just stood there waiting what seemed like an hour for the music to play out. While I'm doing that, heads are starting to peer above the cubicles, saying, well, where's it coming from? And I joined in. I had no idea where it's coming from. I was just, standing there, and as it played out, I walked back into the conference room, and Paul looked at me like, where have you been? And everyone looked at me like, where have you been? And I sat down, I'm sorry, I said, sorry, I got detained for a second, and sat down. And then I just broke out into hysterical laughter, and everyone's looking at me very strangely. And I had to out myself. I had to tell them the story exactly verbatim, what I just shared with you. And I even hit the button so they could hear it. And it was belly laughs. Everybody just exploded in laughter for about 5 minutes. And even later in the meeting, when I'm saying something very seriously, all of a sudden the president of the division just starts busting out laughing, and everyone starts laughing again. And I thought this was the worst day ever. And actually, hindsight, they became our biggest customer and our most trusted customer. And not only Paul, but myself in particular, I think because they saw that I was human and I was willing to admit that I'm human, I think it lowered a lot of barriers. And it actually, so there was a sales lesson there, because there was always the Eric persona off sales call, the Eric persona on sales call, and I've since become WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get, and I think if you connect with people on a human level, you can actually accomplish more. So there's a lesson there too.
I hope you get a good chuckle from this story. You're welcome to add your comments below. We have so much fun to share with you, to bring some joy to your sales work. You deserve it. So subscribe to our YouTube channel and make sure you don't miss any of it. And if you want a smarter way to connect with what you need to be your best, click here and join the other smart people over at Sales Mastery.